Okay, so the objective today is to help you optimize your LinkedIn profile, personal profile, to drive leads, to drive recruitments, really to optimize your presence and drive impact for your business and your startup. So first, to introduce myself, my name is Fabien Delax. I'm based next to Liège. I've been in digital and digital marketing for more than 20 years now. I give courses to UC Louvain, the University of Liège, and I also give workshops at StartLab in Brussels. In 2019, I co-founded Flora by Etias, which is a corporate startup that runs well today. I'm not involved anymore, but I'm happy that they have great results still today. 3 years ago, I founded my own service company, which is called La Super Grosse Boîte, to help entrepreneurs and companies grow thanks to different strategies, including marketing. I'm also very active on LinkedIn with more than 21K followers. Last year, I achieved to do more than 6 million views organically with my content, and Favicon ranks me #1 Belgian creator on the topic of growth marketing and lead generation. A few of my customers, current customers, or in the past, so I've worked for startups, SMBs, many companies in entertainment and media, but also big corporations like KBC or Etias. And also in the real estate industry with Century 21. So just to introduce, I'm gonna share a few stats, but maybe you won't discover anything at this moment. So of course, the way we consume media has really changed in the last decade. As you can see on those graphs. For radio, it's really a big impact of the streaming services like Spotify or Apple Music. As you can see, they have really less audience than before. In the middle, you can see that since a few years, we have more people consuming internet than the classic television. And on the right, you can see that the spending in ads on TV is now lower, and even if growing, but because on inflation, the spending on digital media advertising as an exponential growth. And so today, the consequence of that is that we are exposed every day to hundreds. There are tons of studies about that, but I believe it's hundreds because some say thousands, but it's typically impossible, except if you spend 24 hours a day online. So every day we are exposed to several hundred online advertising messages. This has impact. We have developed as humans what I call the banner blindness syndrome. So we don't see anymore, we don't look anymore at everything that looks like an advertising. If you look at those heat maps, you can see clearly that this is true. And if you look at your own behavior online, please think about the last time you clicked on a banner on a news site. I'm sure you cannot remember. Another behavior that has changed due to this huge amount of advertising that we see, it's the number of people using ad blockers on their web browser. So globally, it's more than 30% of the people. In Belgium, it's almost 30% of people. So this means that if you rely on this approach to reach new audiences, you're maybe losing money. And the third thing is that more and more people decline cookies on websites. So this means that strategies like retargeting are getting less and less effective, and that you cannot rely on these kind of strategies today, or advertising strategies, or at least only to reach your marketing objectives. The conclusion, if we look at the time that we spend today on social media, globally, it's more than 2 hours a day. In Belgium, I have underlined it's 1 hour and 38 minutes. So it's already much time. So today, as a business, if you want to grow, if you want to reach new audiences, if you want to get discovered, you need to integrate social media organically into your marketing mix. And I know that as it's free, many startups start with these kind of strategies to start building their brands and audiences, but not all do it the right way. So today we're going to see how we can help you, and especially in B2B on LinkedIn. So if we look at the numbers, LinkedIn has reached more than 1 billion members worldwide. This means that today, what is important is also the growth of LinkedIn, because 5 years ago, they were at the half of that number. So it's still a growing social media in terms of audience. I'm not going to go into the details of all those numbers, but what's really interesting is the growth of the platform. If you look at the audience profile, most people think that it's social media for old people. So white male wearing ties and this kind of cliche that we have. But the truth is far from that, because when you look at the demographics, yes, there are more male than female on the platform, but most of them are between 18 and 35. So it's not a social media for old people. Some other stats that are interesting is today on LinkedIn you have more than 60 million companies that are listed or that have a company page. In Belgium, we have more than 5 million members, and about a third of them are active, meaning that they connect on the platform at least once a month. If you look at what it means that today on LinkedIn, you can reach 61% of the Belgian adult population through advertising or through organic content. When you look at some studies, sorry, this is in French. I don't have the slide in English, but LinkedIn is considered by B2B decision maker as the most used social media. So in 2020, about 85% of them declared to use the platform. And also, they say that it's the most influential social media in their buying decision. So to be clear, what kind of objectives you can achieve on LinkedIn? So of course you can gain awareness, because today social media, I like to call it the new above the line. So if you want to get discovered by audiences that don't know you yet, you can use social media, including LinkedIn, next to traditional media like the press or TV or radio. You can also do some branding, so work on your brand image. Of course, you can work on your employer image, on your employer branding. Something that is underrated is the retention. So I often have customers or past customers that came back because they continue to see me publishing on LinkedIn. Of course, you can do sales and prospect on LinkedIn. You can recruit. That's the historic, I would say, use of LinkedIn, of this platform worldwide. You can achieve to raise fund because most VCs are on this platform. And if as a startup founder, you talk about your journey and your achievements, of course, you will generate the attention of investors. You can also do some influence if you are addressing authorities, for example. That's a place where you can share your opinions and influence the opinion of people. So how to use LinkedIn, the first thing is that you really need to understand the business model of the platform. Today, LinkedIn has 4 revenue streams. The first one, the historic one, is the recruitment. So they sell what they call talent solutions. So you can share or pay to advertise job positions that are open in your organization. But you can also take a subscription for your recruiter so they can find the profiles or the talents that you are looking for. There's Sales Navigator and LinkedIn Business Premium that you can buy also a subscription to for your sales or for your sales activity to prospect on the platform. A few years ago, they also bought the startup lynda.com to make it part of their solution, and they sell a subscription for their e-learning platform with lots of courses in it. And the one that interests us the most today is that the fourth revenue stream is the stream of a social media. So today, this business model is the same as a traditional media. It's just selling ads to advertisers. That's how they make money. So they get an audience, you and me, everyone on the platform. They try to have the most audience as possible to keep the people on the platform and to display ads to those people, ads that they sell to advertisers. This has consequences. The first one is that LinkedIn needs content creator. Why? Because if you look at the traditional media, they have journalists. They have a head of content that decides what's going to be published when, and the different subject that will be addressed on the media. But on LinkedIn, as it's a social media, it's the users that create the content, and so they need content to get the audience. The second one is the fact that their target audience for this social media business is companies. So it's not individuals that buy advertising; it's companies. And so the impact is the fact that today, if you publish with your company page, you will have less reach than with your personal profile, because LinkedIn wants to sell ads to companies, and so they lower the organic reach that companies can have with their publications. And so the strategy should be to use your profile to publish content, because you will have more reach. But the truth is that today only 1% of members publish content. 9% of people react to other people's content, and 90% of the audience just watch in silence what's happening on the platform. If you look at the what I call the discovery journey on LinkedIn, so people discover you by seeing a publication or a post in their news feed. Then, if the post interests them, they go to your profile. Then they can start following you. They read your profile, and the way to get them out of LinkedIn is to provide links on your profile so they can go to your website, for example, or to your Calendly if you want them to get an appointment as soon as possible. So there are 3 things that you should do. The first one is really to optimize your profile to make people convert, meaning that to get people from your profile to I would say the next step of your sales funnel. or recruiting funnel. This means that also you should publish as often as possible to get people see your post and then want to go to your profile. And the third thing that we want to have time to see today is to engage daily on the platform with those people looking at your profile, for example. So how to optimize your LinkedIn profile? We're going to see that there are 7 sections that you can work on to have a profile that has the same function as a landing page, for example. So convert visitors so they click to the next step of your funnel. We're going to see each of them in details. So the first one is the first thing that people see when they come to your profile. It's the banner. So I see still today many people that do not have a banner, or that have a picture of a nice landscape that they like, or that downloaded some nice picture on Shutterstock or any other stock platform. But the truth is that you should really use that space as the hero of your landing page or home page to make your message flow in people's mind. So it's really like when you go on a web page, you have 5 seconds to get understood, to make people understand what you offer. So I advise you for your banner to include your brand promise, your value proposition, to be clear on your target and the main benefit of your business, and of course to respect your brand's visual identity, because the more you will use it in your content, on your profile, on your company page, on everything that you publish in any media, of course you will create brand recognition, and so you will help people understand and recognize you. As an option, you can add on your banners a call to action. So tell people, for example, provide the URL of your website. So if you want them to go there, and you could also, especially in B2B, that's interesting. You can add social proof, for example, the logos of your customers. That creates confidence in your service, in your company, in your brand, and so that's something that's really has an impact. That can have an impact on your business. The second thing is the profile photo. So please avoid photos that have been taken on the beach or in your garden, or if you. I've already seen people on holiday on the beach with their kids as a profile picture. Please, this is the kind of thing that you should avoid. So my advices here are to really invest in a professional photo. So get a professional photograph to have a great quality. You should look at the camera. Why? Because we as human, we are attracted by faces and by the eyes of people. So when you look at the camera, you catch the attention of people more easily. A regular question is how should I dress up? My advice is to dress like when you meet customers. So people, you create kind of an expectation of how you look, how you dress, and so when you meet people in real life, they have the feeling that there's it's conformed to the way they saw you in the past. So you can smile. Of course, it's an advice to smile on the picture, but avoid to smile with your teeth, because studies show that people that show their teeth when they smile on their profile picture have less skills or are less competent than people that smile without showing the teeth. And to make sure that people catch your face, your eyes, your face on the picture should cover at least 60% of the image that is displayed. There's an option that you can or not use, is to use in the picture your visual identity. I will, as you can see, that's exactly what I did, but it's not mandatory. You can use a more corporate, I would say, picture. But I saw that there was a question. Yes, I will share the slides. I will share the slides by email. If you have questions, don't hesitate to interrupt, or at the end, at least I've foreseen a time for you to ask any question that you would have. The next section that you should optimize on your profile is the title. Something that most people forget is that, okay, LinkedIn is a social media, but it's also a search engine. And if you look at the behaviors of people, more and more people use social media as search engines. The share today of search online, well, I would say that Google is really losing market share because of TikTok and other social media, and because of ChatGPT, of course, that get a lot of search market share. But this means that you should also use the keywords that relate to your positioning, your industry, and what you do on your profile, and especially in the title. The truth is that you really can make a big difference, because, and even if you look at the statistic that LinkedIn offers on your profile, you can see the number of appearances in the search results. So that's really important to optimize your profile also, as you would optimize a page on your website for SEO. Here, the title, or the framework that I advise you to use for your title really depends on the position that you have in the company. I guess most of you are CEOs or co-founders, so you should use the first framework. So put your position. So, for example, CEO, name of the company, and then maybe add the value proposition of the company, especially if it includes the keywords that you want to be found when people search it. And yes, the thing that I wanted to say is also that if you look at the different social media platform, LinkedIn with of course YouTube, because it belongs to Google, and Pinterest are one of the three most or better or best indexed social media platform by Google. And so most of the time when you search your name on Google, you will find the first link is your LinkedIn profile. So optimizing your profile is optimizing for search on LinkedIn and also on Google. The fourth section to optimize is the featured section. The thing is that this section is really not by default on your profile. So you must go on your profile, and there's a button, add section to my profile, and then recommended, and then featured. Once you do that, you can add different kind of things in this section. You can pin a post that you did. You can add a link, add a media, an image or a video, or an article that you wrote on the LinkedIn the LinkedIn platform, because you have the difference between posts and articles. But what I advise you to do is to add links and to configure it like on these examples, so related to your business objective. So as starter, most of the time, what you will need is to sell and to recruit. So on those two examples, you can see that we've added two links with thumbnails that link to on one side the the home page or landing page presenting the company's main value proposition, and on the other side, the open position in the companies. So recruitment and sales, that are most of the time the two main objectives of a company. So to do that, you go on the featured section, you add a link, you enter the page URL. You should also enter a title. So the title is this part. So for example, Discovers Renovas open positions. I advise you to use an infinitive verb. So just like on a button on a web page, the description, you should leave it empty. So the description is this text that appears here. The thing is that if you put a description, when people click, there will be a pop-up and then a small button that they should click to go on the page. And when you don't enter a description, the link is direct to the page. So there's no pop-up. So you remove one click if you don't put a description. And your image or thumbnail should include, yes, your brand image and a value proposition and maybe a call to action, so people click on the link. The next section is the about section. So right after that, I'm going to explain the framework that I use and that you can use to write this section. Most people think that it's not read by people, but it is. And so most of the time, I still see executives or CEOs that have a resume like on their CV as if they were looking for a job, even if they founded a startup 5 years ago and it's going well. So I really advise you to work on this section because more people than you think read it. And so it really be about you, your story, and the link with this story and the value proposition that you have or that your company have as today. And ideally, it should end with a call to action. So if you want to write this section just like this one, here's the framework that I use. So it's in 4 steps. The first step is to add a hook, just like on a LinkedIn post, because when people come to your profile, this section is hidden for except the 4 first lines. So the hook should be first line, and the objective of the hook should be that people click on the See More button that should display here if you are on if the About section is collapsed. So one thing that you can do in this hook is to already do a call out for your target audience. So for example, if you have a product or service, or if you address CMOs, you can have something like the biggest problem of CMOs is blah, blah, blah. And most of the time it's not solved because they are not aware of this. And then you put you have the See More button, and so you've created some curiosity, and people will click on the See More button, especially if they are in your target audience. Then the second part must be the story. So you talk about your professional journey and how you reach the point where you are today with this startup and this value proposition. That's if you have what we call a founder market fit. So if you represent the customer avatar, that you were this customer avatar in the past, and that you've built up your startup and your solution to solve this problem, that's a perfect place to explain it. And so the idea is to tell your professional journey, but of course don't go into too many details, and only choose the parts that link to your objective. Then you put your value proposition, so the reason why people should do what you want them to do. So it's really your offer. It could be, so today we've created a SaaS that allows CMOs to solve that problem and to in less time and with a lower cost. And then you end with a call to action, not a cat, but a CTA, sorry. And even if cats are something really popular still on the internet. And so what you want them to do next. So in this case, the objective of the person is to get as much followers as possible. But it could be discover our solution on our website.com. And the thing is that this section, most of the time, is just placed over the featured section, and you could also send people to the feature section and to the links on the feature section in the call to action. Because if you put a URL in this description, it won't be clickable. Then the sixth section is the experiences section. So remember, LinkedIn is also a search engine. And so those sections are opportunities to slip or to add a lot of keywords on which you want to be positioned. So this is really a place where you can put those keywords again. And a small trick when you complete your experiences is to talk about your achievements and not about the responsibilities that you had in the previous companies you worked for. Also related to that, there's a frequent mistake that I see. When you go on somebody's profile, you can see a company and a university or a school, which is what LinkedIn define as the current position. So I see too many people having a company where they are, for example, on the board, but they are not active in the company, and they miss an opportunity to promote their own company. So to change that, you should go on your profile, then edit here, and you will have a pop-up that opens, and at the bottom of that pop-up, you have the choice to select the experience that you want to display, and then the company that you want to display on the top of your profile. The seventh section is the recommendations. So that's also something underrated because people read it. And once again, it's a place where you should try to place keywords. As you can see on this example, there are keywords that I want to be listed on. And so those people, I've asked them for a recommendation, or they gave it without me asking. And they've added those keywords because we had a conversation about the recommendation itself. Don't hesitate to ask colleagues, partners, customers, suppliers, or even employees, if you are the boss, to write a recommendation on your profile. And if you are afraid to ask, what you can do is also to give a recommendation to somebody, and naturally those people, they will do the same for you. That's the law of reciprocity that is working everywhere on social media. There's a bonus section, but only if you have a premium account. So LinkedIn Premium or LinkedIn Sales Navigator or LinkedIn Recruiter. It's the services section. So you can add this section to your profile. You can add a summary of what you offer. You can also add media that are videos or photos illustrating your services. And you can add up to 10 services that your company provides. So here, brand consulting, marketing, lead generation, stuff like that. And when you do that on the platform, people can go on your profile and directly request a service or request more information about one of those services. But also people can request a service on the platform, and all people that are listing this service get a notification and get a lead. So that's something that you should definitely complete, especially if you have a premium profile, because it's free lead generation. Even if I have to admit, most leads that most demands that I get from this section come from exotic countries, but 1 out of 15, something like that, is really a qualified demand, and so you should definitely complete this section if you have a premium account. The second part is to publish as often as possible. So we don't have that many time to go into details into what kind of content strategy you should use. That's the topic of the next masterclass on LinkedIn in a few weeks. But just to show you, that's an example of one of my customers. Once we started to publish on the CEO profile. So as you can see, we did something like about 1 million views of the content on the 2-week period. That's exceptional. I don't promise that to my customers, but this time we achieved it. So the person started with something like 700 contacts on the platform, and in those 2 weeks, she won, because she was a girl. She won 2,000 followers on the platform, and that's the impact on the company page. So as you can see, so they got 400 person more visitors on the page. They got 1,700 more new subscribers to the page, followers to the page, and 800 times more clicks on the button to the website. So here the journey is not exactly the same as the one I showed you earlier in this presentation, but people saw the content, went on the profile, and then went on the page, and then clicked to go on the website. That's the kind of impact that you can have if you start publishing on your profile. So here are 3 ideas that you can publish as a founder or as a CEO of a startup. The first one is what we call the build in public. So the idea is really to take a picture and to tell the story of what you live on a weekly or daily basis on the platform. So for example, when I told you at the beginning, don't let me leave without taking a picture of this meeting to make a LinkedIn post, that's an easy one. So you just tell the story, what you do, the people you meet, the discoveries that you get, and you can also share, for example, every month or every quarter, a recap of your achievements, your business. That's especially interesting to target VCs if you want to raise funds. So this month we got X new customers. We went up. We have a better churn or stuff like that. It's something that you can do on a regular basis, and that's kind of easy to do because these are numbers that you already follow, and it's just a matter of having the reflex, as Nicolas has, to take a picture or record a small video with every person that he meets. The second one is to share lessons or good practices. So the mistakes that you made as an entrepreneur, what you learn, stuff like that. But also what works really well is management practices. So if I go back to this slide, this almost million views were made sharing 2 posts with management practices. And that's really powerful because it's interesting for many people on the platform. The third one is really to talk about your successes, those of your companies and your employees. So when you reach a milestone, for example, today we signed a big contract with, today we reach 100,000 active users on our SaaS and stuff like that. But also if you have an employee that did something exceptional, that got a promotion, that got a reward, or if you hire somebody, so that's kind of a news. But of course, you can share that on your profile. That's something that's really easy to like. It's not the kind of post that people comment easily, but they like easily. So it's really based on that, for example, that LinkedIn has this almost automated post that you can use when you add a new job to your profile. They suggest you to publish a post about that, and they already formatted a post that you can use as a template that works really well. Then, as a little bonus, I wanted to share with Nicolas these 10 posts that you can publish about your participation at BSA 25. So, of course, we are a bit late for the first one, but this is kind of a communication plan that you can use. The first one is, of course, to announce your application, and especially what's interesting is why you did it and your objective, what you want to achieve with this participation. You can also share your participation to this masterclass and what you've learned today. So something like yesterday, or for tomorrow, or this morning, or this noon, I've participated to a masterclass, a LinkedIn masterclass with Fabien Delax on how to optimize your LinkedIn profile. 3 things that I remember and that I will put in application today. And so this is kind of a lesson of what you've learned, and you can share with people that's interesting for people. If you are nominated, of course, you can announce that you've been nominated in X or Y category. You can also make a post if we have a vote of the public open to vote for your startup. Don't hesitate also to remind people, because most of the time you do the announcement once, but you forget to say that, okay, this is the last day to vote for us, and this works very well. It's really using a bit of FOMO, but that works. On D-Day, so don't hesitate to tell people that it's D-Day and to ask them to send love and cross fingers for you, and so people will comment encouraging you under the post in the comments. On the next day after the awards, but you should announce that you won or not. So if you won a trophy, then announce it and thank the jury and the voters for this success. If you did not win, then you can also make a post and congratulate the winners, for example. Then if you get some press after or during this process, don't hesitate to take a picture or a screenshot of the article to illustrate a post about it, and provide a link, but the link in the comments, because when you put a link into a post, LinkedIn, as you understood, they want to sell ads. If they want to sell ads, they need an audience. If you put a link in a post, so people go on a press website, then they lose the audience, and so they don't like that you share links into your post. But also the last thing that you can do is to share the lessons that you've learned when participating to these awards, and of course do the recap with the first post. Did you learn? Did you achieve? Did you reach your objectives that you had fixed for this participation? That's the question and answer time. So really raise your hand, and or don't hesitate to open up the mic and ask your question. No one? I've never been so clear. Okay, I got a
Oh,
question.
hello.
Yes.
Ah, I have one question. Thank you so much for your presentation. I learned a lot, so thank you so much. I was wondering, is it a good idea to tell the people on LinkedIn, hey, go follow us on Instagram and on TikTok and whatever, and say that on the other platforms and on Instagram, hey, follow us on LinkedIn, or because
Well,
I,
that would be stupid not to do it,
yeah,
but do not expect too much with this kind of post, because of course, as I just explained, if you send people to another platform, LinkedIn won't be happy,
right, yeah.
because they want to keep the audience to display ads and to earn money.
Yeah. And another question, we were advised that it might be a good idea to try to put the content that we have from Instagram on our LinkedIn page, but we sometimes, our company sometimes posts funny videos and stuff, and that might not be very LinkedIn traditional. Do you think that it's a good idea to experiment with that, or uh,
Well, I'm always in favor of experimenting, but of course, I didn't see the content, but there's most of the time there is a difference between what works on LinkedIn and what works on other platforms, especially platforms like TikTok or Instagram Reels. Because on those two platforms, you have a really dynamic cut of the videos, you have effects, and you really have that attention to be caught, that is really hard to catch. So you have this kind of effects that do not really work well on LinkedIn. The typical video that works well on LinkedIn is an educative video, with
okay.
where you as a human talk to the audience, explaining something and providing value to the audience, but with no extra effects, I would say.
Okay. All right.
So
Thank
you
you.
you, you can you can try it, but don't expect too much. And if you want me to have a look at what you do, just you have my email, I guess. You can we can have a small talk about that.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes, there's a question from Alteria Solutions.
Hey there. Thank you, Fabian, sorry, for this amazing talk and masterclass. So we are here with Dimitra. I don't know if you can see us well. So we're from Alteria, and we have a little question. So we've started posting regularly. I mean, at least we try to post once a week from personal accounts. Do you have any insights or like latest trends about the frequency? Does it have to be exactly the same day every time, or just once a week is fine? And also, what I've noticed personally is that I end up spending quite some time if I want my post to be thoughtful in a sense and be well written. Even at the day and age of AI and chat, of course, but trying to really think a lot about it, it takes quite some time. And sometimes I struggle a bit with, am I doing this the right way? Should I spend less time doing that? Am I losing my time in a sense?
So the first question on the frequency, then a frequency starts with once a week for me. So that's already nice to do it once a week. But of course, the more you publish, the more you will. I'm profoundly, deeply convinced that quality comes from quantity. So the more you do practice, the better you'll be, and the less time you will take to write your post. That's the first thing. Second thing, you should indeed select a day and time when you publish every week and keep it. Of course, make some tests to understand what's the best moment for you, because you need to be available, because there's the moment when you publish. Of course, if you publish on Sunday morning at 2 a.m., you won't have much success. Friday end of afternoon is also a bad timing. But as I explained, LinkedIn needs creator. They do not have journalists. And if you work in the traditional media, of course, your head of content, he wants the paper Monday morning, 7 a.m. because they've got a planning. If you train the algorithm of LinkedIn that every Monday at 8 you will publish a post, then they can foresee that you will have a post, and then they will thank you with more visibility because you are a regular content creator. On the fact of reducing the time needed to create a post, what you can do is to train yourself or to get trainings or coaching about copywriting frameworks, because this will help you create posts more clearly, and it will be easier because you have a clear structure to follow for your post. And the one that I'd advise everyone to start with is the simple AIDA. A for attention, that's your hook. I for interest, so you give a bit of context why you're doing this post, who is the target and why they should pay attention. Then the desire part, where you give you keep the promise that you made in the hook, and you end with a call to action. But the truth is that publishing the post in itself is not enough. There's the law of reciprocity, which is a human law and algorithmic law. So when you like or comment somebody's post, you provide him or her with dopamine, and when you get dopamine from someone, you tend to give back that dopamine. And so if that person sees your post, they will tend to comment it or to like it too. And so that's how you get engagement. So when you publish a post, you should be there, active, comment a few posts, and like a few posts during the first 30 minutes.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Luna.
Yes, sorry. Thank you very much for your presentation. I just had like one interrogation, let's say, about posting that much, because I think like, and maybe it's the case for other people here, like we follow a lot of person, and to me, like people that also post like every day or on a regular basis, to me at the end of the day, sometimes it's also very bullshitty. So I'm a bit like fed up with like everyone just boasting on LinkedIn and saying that the world's perfect, their solution is perfect. And I feel that I'm not the only one, and that we're a bit like, I don't know, like the general tone is changing a bit on LinkedIn, because people tend to be a bit fed up of like everything is beautiful. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. There are several things. The first thing is that with the rise of AI, of course, it's becoming a commodity to create content.
Mm-hmm.
And the quality of that content is becoming average.
Yeah.
And the difference between people is less and less clear, because everyone uses the same three AIs, especially ChatGPT and Claude. But the truth is that people are looking for unique point of views. And so I'm going to take a small example. So if you want to share, I could do a post like three advices to optimize your LinkedIn profile. Okay, but that sounds very generic. But if I change the post and do it like I've helped 500 people optimize their LinkedIn profile, and here are the 3 things that I've noticed have the most impact.
Mm-hmm.
I make it really personal, you see. And so that's what you should try to achieve to differentiate yourself from the mass. And the second thing about the frequency, you don't have to publish every single day. My positioning yeah, my positioning is I sell LinkedIn trainings, courses, and stuff like that. So of course I publish every day. But if you, most of my, so I do some ghostwriting for CEOs of even big companies, and I advise them to publish once a week. Because you don't have that much to say. You should be positioned as somebody high level. You are not supposed to spend your week on LinkedIn if you are the CEO. You have other things to do. So you should adapt your strategy and your frequency that's included in the strategy to your positioning in the company. If the impact is huge on your business, the more you will publish, of course, you will have more impact on your business. But you should do what has more impact on your business.
And thank you for that. It's a good point. Like, what's also in terms of frequency. So me personally, as Luna, I understand this once a week is nice. But then, from a company's page perspective, do you advise like publishing more or different type of content?
Yes, we will see that in the next masterclass. I will present a strategy where you have 5 typologies of content that you should use on your company page or even on your profile. But the frequency should be a bit higher. So I recommend to start with 2 posts per week on pages, and you can go up to 5. And to be honest, I've seen this week a company that is a global company. They have something like 140,000 followers on their page, but they are global. And they just for the French market, they publish 50 posts a week.
Okay.
And that's too much.
Okay. Okay, thank you. And maybe then one last question. You mentioned AI. I think, of course, a lot of us or people now tend to use AI to correct, at least, or to improve something we create. What would be your advice to like stop completely, or how to take the best out of it without making them like create an empty post, but like still supporting us a bit and winning time, as Theria was asking?
Yeah, it's my personal use of AI for my post is for some kind of post I need to do some research. Like a few weeks ago, I did a post to an éloge of Fabien Pincart to explain the journey, his journey. So to make sure I was right with the dates and the facts, a bit like a journalist, I did some of my research with ChatGPT. I've tried lots of solutions or even agents that write LinkedIn posts or social media posts. We are not there yet. I'm sure we're gonna have at some point, and not in years, solutions that really create tailored content for you. But where they are not good today is in the hook and call to actions. That are the most important parts of a post. So the hook really is accounts for something like 80% of the success of a post. If you don't have a good hook, people don't read, so people don't react.
Okay.
And for the hooks, I do not trust yet any AI today.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, there's a question from Philippe.
Yeah, hi everyone, and thanks Fabian for the presentation. I had a question. I put it in the chat actually. So I wanted to know your take on how to manage multiple languages context. I speak French and English. I'm currently forcing myself to post only in English as my CEO is posting in French. But I would like to. I never found a straight answer on. Is it okay to speak to write? To switch sometime in between languages, or should I continue with the efforts of only
Yeah.
English?
So there are several things. So if I take a second on company pages, you can create a multi-language page, and so have your description in several languages. And when you publish a post, you can select the language of the post. So yes, if you publish on your company page, please never again put two languages in the same post.
But for my
Just
personal page, I mean.
sorry.
My question was mostly for personal accounts.
Yes, I understood, but when we are two languages, I wanted to give that tip too, because you can select the language of the post, and so the post will be shown only to people with a profile in that language. On personal profiles, you can also translate your profile. So if you if your profile is in French and you publish in English, please make that translation of your profile in English first. So when people, because LinkedIn will prioritize to show your post in English to people that have their profile in English or have encoded that they speak English in the profile. And so when they come to your profile, they will see the English version and not the French version. But it's no problem to publish in two different languages from the moment the two languages are not in the same post. But of course, you should really have in mind your target audience. Do they speak English or do they speak French? And decide on that to select the language of the post that you plan to make.
Great.
But
And
there's no problem. The only thing is that the way the algorithm of LinkedIn works when you publish a post, it starts with a qualification phase and a test phase, where LinkedIn shows your post to people in your first circle. So people that follow you or people that you are connected with. This means that if you target people talking English, international audience, but that in your first cycle you have mostly people that speak French or French only, then it will show the post to people speaking French. It will calculate the engagement rate and the engagement score of the post. If it's bad because it's in English and your first cycle is people speak French, then it won't go further and display the post to people out of your first cycle. So that's the thing that's difficult to see. So something that you could do to avoid that is to add people in your network that speak English and that are in your target audience.
And also, are you allowing me to give a tip on using AI for posting for Luna? So basically, I found myself a great process that I never heard anyone talking about, which is actually using a note taker. I'm working for Lexi, so obviously that's easy for me, but basically using the transcription only as your go-to input to generate a prompt. Let me explain. I found myself having a lot of troubles to be consistent on LinkedIn, and while I have many ideas, I have many stories to share about our journey and so on, but putting that into a writing format is always a pain, and I think it's the case for most of us because we are not journaling and we are not used anymore to really take the time to write. It's a very difficult exercise if you're not used to it. So I decided to use my strength, which is speaking, and so now I'm recording myself and I have the transcription word by word of everything that I said, and then I actually put that into GPT, my own personal GPT that actually has a little bit of memory on my mood, my tonality, and so on. And actually, the posts that I'm getting from that are really well. And I think it's because the quality of the input, which is so many ideas plus a little bit of memory, has a positive effect on that. So you should try that.
Yeah, it's fun because as I explained, I do ghostwriting for some CEOs, and I also use Lexi. And I use the transcript to keep track of the way they speak. So when I write for them, I write like they talk, and that's the best way to make the post more personal.
Yeah, right. And I forgot to say it, but indeed I read that somewhere also that you should always write as you talk, as you speak, and that's the best way to keep your originality and to avoid being boring and have those posts that all look generic and written by AI. Like,
Yes, that's a good advice. Thank you, Philippe. I'm gonna watch. So you were the only one to have a question in the chat. So if you don't have more question, then we can end up there.